Hi, my name is Steve Stedman, and I'm going to do an experiment here to see if I can fly my DJI Mini 2 drone out 3 miles and then 3 miles back. We're going to be using the Litchi app to do this, and I've got my screen shared there. And if you're not familiar with the Litchi app, this is a really cool app that has a lot of features that you may not have in the normal DJI app. What I've done is I've put us in waypoint mode, and I've loaded up a set of waypoints, and point 1 or 0.23 and all the way out to 4. Point 4 is just over 3 miles away, and then I shifted it slightly and it has several points to come back. It's going to do a loop. So get the drone ready. I hit start, and it says the estimated mission time is 21 minutes, and here it goes. It takes off.
Recording started.
What I really like about using this Litchi app is that you can plot your course with waypoints ahead of time. You can have it go to a certain level at a certain speed to a certain position. And we're going to start out here. The first waypoint, I think, is around 100 feet. And then from there, it's going to go in a northeastern pattern across the bay here, increasing the altitude a little bit as we go, just to avoid any kind of lower interference with trees or anything like that. But the nice thing is we travel out across the bay and then across field area or undeveloped area. There's not a lot of things that are blocking the reception there. Now, another thing I really like about the waypoint mode on the Litchi app, and I really don't want to sound like a commercial for it, but is that once you're flying and it's going in this direction, you can then use the left joystick to be able to spin the drone around in whatever direction. And then you've even got the ability to spin it around in different directions, and you can zoom in and out on the video. If you use the function key and then your index finger on the roller, that will allow you to zoom in or zoom out to different zoom levels. You can go 1.0 to 2.0 zoom. But the best thing is when you're in this program flying mode, you're not worried about how you're driving the drone or what altitude you're at or any of that. That's all pre-programmed, and you're really freed up for 100% of your focus can be on what are you doing with the camera, where are you pointing the drone to shoot video and all that. So our goal here is to go out to 3 miles and to see how that goes, and to make sure that we've got reception that far out, and then to fly back. I've never gone this far with this drone before. I've gone to about 1.5 miles, and it's worked well. I tried this yesterday, and I was flying west, and the wind was blowing a little bit yesterday. So by the time I got just past a mile, I was at 50% of my battery because I was doing a lot more work to fly into the wind. And but today there's absolutely like zero wind when we're doing this. Even though once in a while the drone pops up a little indicator that says warning high winds, there really is no wind at all today. So here we are. We're currently 4,200 feet away from where we started. Coming up at 5,280 feet, of course, is a mile. So we're just heading across the bay. It's a little bit risky here because in my return flight, the last mile I have to fly is all above water. So if I run short, I lose the drone in the water. Maybe I should have gone a different direction. Anyway, when we get to waypoint 2 here, this is right about 5,280 feet or a mile. When we hit that point, I'm going to do a quick spin around here. Just kind of take a look, and that's kind of my visual indicator that we're here at a mile. But as we keep going forward, yeah, reception is good. Again, since I hit the play button or the takeoff, I haven't done anything to control the drone's movement at all. I've only controlled the direction it's pointed and the focus of the camera, or the direction the camera's pointed. So here, kind of taking a look at the end of the bay and going into this sort of swampland. And we're at about 6,600 feet, taking a look around here. Oh, there's our community golf course over there. And then, of course, the refineries to the north. But what I love about the waypoint mode is you can point the camera in whatever, the whole drone in whatever direction you want, to be able to focus your video and just let it fly on that waypoint mode. All right, we're at about 1.5 miles here, or 7,600 feet. So I'm hoping that, first off, I don't lose the drone on this mission. Uh, it's going further than I've gone before. I mean, right now we're at 8,200 feet away from where I launched. So that, I think, is further than I've flown it before. And I think I've got everything set up, so if it loses reception, it will return home. But hopefully it doesn't come to that. Taking a look at where we're headed. We're just past halfway now, or we're a little bit past halfway. We're coming up on the 2 mile mark away from our launching point. And when we get to this waypoint 3, as it's shown on the map down below there, waypoint 3 will be right at the 2 mile mark. And you can see we're just looking over what's below there with some, what used to be, I think, some farmland that's now sort of been reclaimed by nature. And also, we're just over 300 feet right now, and as we go further away, I'm flying just a little bit higher so that there's less things in the ground that might be interfering with reception. And so far, reception is really good. I did sort of step inside of my doorway a little bit, and the video cut out or slowed down a little bit there, but right there, just past the 2 mile mark. And taking a look at where we're headed. So now we're at 11,000 feet. We're going to almost 15.5 to 16,000 feet away from home, which is about 3 miles. If this one works well, then maybe I'll give it a try with further distance. But I can't fly any further in this direction because we seem to be approaching what's kind of a restricted airspace because we're getting too close to the local airport. But our 3 mile mark away from our launch point is still safe. It's not in that area. And up ahead is a little model airplane airport where people go and fly their remote control airplanes. It's usually a lot busier on the weekends, but there are a couple cars there today, I see. So we're now at 13,000 feet. That's about 2.5 miles, roughly.
Aircraft requesting go home.
The app is saying it's entering the go home mode because it's gone too far away. So we just say cancel that, but it throws it into the going home, tap to cancel. So I click cancel to confirm the return to home because I don't want it to return to home right now, and then I hit OK. And then I put us back on course to fly to our next waypoint, which is right at the 3 mile mark. So the app doesn't seem to like us flying this far out just in fully automatic mode. But we're just going to try going straight here and see how it goes. We're at 14,000 feet, about another 1,000 feet, and we're going to be at the point that we are at our 3 mile mark. Yeah, so there it is. There's the remote control airport. It doesn't, I mean, there's cars there, but it doesn't really look like anybody's got their stuff out on the runway or anything right now. So we're at 14,700 feet here just about. And when we get to waypoint 4, that's going to be our 3 mile point. I'm standing out on the second floor deck at my house, and so that gives me a little bit of elevation here over standing on the ground. But the radio reception is clear, as is the reception, the video transmitting reception right now as well. And we're up at about 350 feet currently. And there we are, 15,500. So we're right at the 3 mile mark. And at this point, what I'm going to do, because we're close enough to waypoint 4, I'm just going to say continue the mission and just hop in at waypoint 4 and take over flying at that point. So the drone's going to turn, go to the waypoint, and then it'll come home following the waypoints the rest of the way. So here we are, 3 miles away from where I launched it. It's going fine. We're currently at 62% on the battery, which is doing really good. Part of it is there's no wind, and yesterday when I flew, the wind was much stronger, and we never would have got this far with 61% battery. Or I should say, maybe if we'd gone this direction, we never would have got home. Because it would have been a lot more work flying into the wind. We've been traveling about 20 to 22 miles an hour on this route. And here we go on the way home. Another quick look at the remote control airport down there. Oh, looks like they've got their lawn crew out mowing today. Maybe it's maintenance day there. And then just across this sort of abandoned field area and swampland, back to the bay. So far a success. Let's just hope we can get home. I think we've got enough battery to make it happen. But 3 miles away from where I launched, and we have great control over the DJI Mini 2 drone. I'll tell you, this drone, I am impressed with it. I've had a couple others in the past that were not so nice, but this one is awesome. So the Litchi app, you can plot these courses and then save them and just reload them at a later time. So if I wanted to try 3.5 miles, I could then move waypoint 4 out to 3.5 miles and just see if I can go that distance. Taking a look down by turning the camera to look below us. Always wondered what was out here. Driven by on the roads, but I've never been out and taken a close-up look in these specific areas. So 52% on the battery. I expect the app's going to start squawking at us in the near future about being too low on the battery. Taking a look down below us at this former river. I think it's more of a slough now, not very deep. We're now at about 11,500 feet from home and doing just fine. One of the other experiments I want to try is to see if I fly the same distance in the sport mode versus the normal mode to see how big of an impact that has on the batteries. But for now, we can see where we're headed home is the tip of that point in front of us with all the houses. And we're 10,200, so just short of 2 miles from home. And everything looks a-okay at this point. Now, I think that if I was flying in a different direction where maybe there were houses or trees or other things that might be blocking the reception, I would not have this type of success on a 3-mile trip. But yeah, doing great so far. So here we're almost at the point of no return, meaning if we were running low on battery, I could probably land somewhere out here and eventually go find the drone. But once we're over the water, that's it. It's an all or nothing thing, or otherwise I lose the drone in the water. Last week I was flying and I came this way and the wind picked up a little bit and I ended up landing on the beach. I didn't even make it back to my landing spot, but I landed on the beach just above the water line with 2% left on the battery. And that's too close for comfort, especially since I've only had the drone a couple weeks now. But we've got 40% battery left, and we have 7,400 feet to go. And I'm gambling on the fact that we can make it. Sure, I could grab a kayak or a Sea-Doo or something and go out and pick up the drone if it crashed in the water, but it sure wouldn't survive that. Now, if you're hanging on the edge of your seat waiting to see if we actually make it or not, well, here's a little clue. Because I have to pull the memory card out of the drone after it lands. That's kind of the giveaway that we actually make it. But hang on, who knows? We might not make it. So we're almost down to 6,000 feet, or just over a mile, and still traveling at about 21 to 22 miles an hour, doing really well. And I really love flying out over the tide flats here to be able to look down and see what's out there. Sometimes you see crab, or sometimes you see fish. Too shallow for anything interesting like whales. But not a bad view, no matter how you look at it. Oops, what did I do? I hit the stop button there somehow. We'll get this going again. $5,280 we just passed there, so we're now less than a mile away from home at 33% battery. Let's see how this goes. Oh, 31% battery. There's a reason they should tell you to turn around earlier so that you don't run out. I hope we make it. "20 miles an hour, a little bit of breeze hitting it maybe, but coming in at about 115 feet. Slowly dropping down as we approach our landing location. And keep in mind, other than that one spot where we went too far and it turned off the navigation with the waypoints, and I had to fly that last half a mile to the 3 mile mark, the rest of this has been completely driven by the waypoint mode on the Litchi app. And I've done nothing other than that last half mile, and at the farthest point out there, I've done nothing other than just point the camera. All right, 2,600 feet. We're about a half mile now. And we're down to 25% on the battery. This is always where I start to stress out and wonder, will we make it or not?
24%.
Uh-oh, red blinking indicator on the battery. "23%. We don't have that far to go. With the wind the way, with there literally being very little wind, if any, today, yeah, I think we're going to make it. 1,700 feet feels like a long ways, down to 22%. All right, we got this. We'll be back to our landing pad in no time. "20% on the battery. Man, we're getting close. All right, we got this. 800 feet, 700 feet. We are almost home now. I will fly in and land on my second floor deck landing pad.
Warning, aircraft battery at 18%.
And this is just a great location to be flying the drone out of, other than the risk of landing in the water on the way home. So still 100% controlled by, well, other than that little section, but mostly controlled by the navigation app. We hit waypoint 8. Waypoint 9 should bring it down to right off my launching pad. And then we'll take a look around here. Oh, I've got 16% of the battery left. Why not play around a little bit? I'm going to go up. I'm going to fly up high and take a look around just to see, as I use the battery up here, to see how things go. "15%. We'll see how high we can go before we get just about out. Taking a look around the neighborhood. Ooh, that's spinning too fast. Getting dizzy here.
Warning, aircraft battery at 14%.
14%. We'll go up to about 400 feet and then call it good. All right, there we are. 398, 399 feet. We're still at 12%. Yeah, we had plenty of battery. We could have gone a little bit further, but just for safety, it's better to not. Well, that about wraps things up. Assuming I can actually safely land the drone here, we're going to be in good shape. But this is the DJI Mini 2 using the standard battery that comes with it, and coming in for a landing after successfully traveling 6 miles or 3 miles out, 3 miles home, and we're coming in to land at just around 9% battery here. As we go down, you might notice,
Warning,
oh, that's the
aircraft
end of the
battery at
recording.
9%.
So you
Recording
might notice
stopped.
the seagull nest on my roof, but nope, that's it. Coming into the landing pad, a successful trip. Total travel of 6 miles, 3 miles out, 3 miles back, and a great trip. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and take a look at some of my other videos.